What's going on, guys? It's your boy Tony here on the charts. Just wanted to touch base and let's look at Ethereum for that weekly update. Now, since last week, we were in the short. We still think that's the case, and that's what we're playing out for a little bit of short-term downside before moving into a medium to long-term to the upside in the kind of bull run. So let's take a look at the quick and obvious things. Monthly levels, weekly levels, still playing against us. Daily levels are not so important right now, but we've got essentially a lot of resistance at the top of the heads right there. And in terms of looking at looking at the kind of the broader picture, the difference between Ethereum and Bitcoin at the moment was Bitcoin broke out of the larger trend and touched in and now confirmed support. Ethereum is still trading within a few larger patterns, i.e. this larger sloping resistance is something that kind of really needs to be broken, and at the same time there's kind of a larger equal a sideways moving triangle at the moment as well. So there's kind of a few kind of factors that's kind of there's a lot of confluence in terms of resistance above head. In terms of looking at some other items just on this chart, so essentially, we've got, you can see an ever so slightly declining volume, and only if we saw real spike in that volume with a kind of break out of this pattern, that's the only time we'll, with conviction, believe that it's not a fake out and that is a convincing move to the upside. But until then, it still looks like it's going to be a bit of a pullback. The most obvious form of pullback is just say this higher low that was formed, and I'll just change the color to that orange just as an example. And this was like entirely sideways movement, so it's just the idea that momentum and price are kind of moving in separate directions at the moment. In terms of kind of Elliott Wave, it's similar to what we're talking about on the larger time frames with Bitcoin. So it's the same thing. We're still looking at this correction, and this looks like the typical kind of playing out of an ABC. So everything in terms of this trade at the moment, with the fact that we are sitting right here on this shelf of volume, looking at the fixed range volume profile, because below it there's not a lot supporting that at the moment, and we saw there's not a lot in terms of the daily and monthly levels as well. So this one looks like almost more clean cut in comparison to Bitcoin at the moment, for that pull to be coming down to anticipate the 50% region at least. But nonetheless, this trade's still live. This trade is still profitable. We've taken some profits off the table, and just like Bitcoin, but I guess with the larger kind of patterns, as we're saying, there's a lot more resistance, especially in the larger sloping resistance. Going to need to see real breakout in conviction to be getting into a trade to the upside beyond these levels. So one to keep an eye on, one that we'll be looking at, and we'll be touching base again next week. See you all soon, guys. Take care.